Hello everyone. In this session we're going to talk about the new paper that's going to be start from September 22, and that's for the level 2. We called it Introduction to Bookkeeping. Now this paper is one of the new paper on the new syllabus, and if you like to do your level 2 in accounting, or if you like to do your level 2 in bookkeeping, both case you have to do this paper. So right now, the paper we called it Bookkeeping Transaction for the AQ16, but the new syllabus is called Introduction to Bookkeeping. So we're going to start the Introduction to Bookkeeping from September 22. So let's have a look the content that we're going to cover from this course book. So we can see some area is still same like AQ16. So we can see we have a business documentation, books of prime entry, we have a VAT and discount, then double entry, cash book, and trade payable, receivables, and finally we have a petty cash. Only the one thing is missing from the new course, that is the trial balance. So the trial balance is not part of the bookkeeping anymore. So in this course, Introduction to Bookkeeping, we are not going to see the trial balance anymore. So if you are currently studying AQ16, you might see the chapter number 12 contain trial balance, but for the new one from September 22, we are not going to see the trial balance as a part of this paper. Now let's have a look at the question pattern. So we can see it will be our computer based assessment, and it will be 1.5 hours, exactly the way it was before. It will be exactly same. Now let's have a look at the task area. So we have 1.5 duration for the exam, and that consists 11 tasks. Now currently we have a 10 question in the exam, so we have to do 10 tasks. So for the new syllabus we have to do 11. So they have increased one more task, but they have reduced one of the area, that is trial balance. So you are not going to look at the trial balance for Introduction to Bookkeeping. All right, now let's have a look quickly our assessment area. So you can see here it says you have 1 hour 30 minutes to complete this assessment. This assessment contains 11 tasks, and you should attempt to complete every task. Each task is independent, so there is no relationship with task 1 and 2 and 3. So each task you have to answer separately. For example, if you don't know one task, so you really don't have to worry about the next one, because the next one is completely separate task. You will not need to refer your answer to the previous task. The total marks will be 100. Read every task carefully and understand and the requirement before answer. Where the date is relevant, it is given the tax data. Both minus sign and bracket can be used to indicate negative number unless task instruction otherwise. So we can use both minus sign or full stop to indicate the decimal point. For example, you can write 100.57 or 100, not 100.57. So you must always use the full stop, not the decimal. So this is the one we always used to do, of course. Like this is not the first thing we're learning now. With the previous paper we do the same thing. You must use a comma to indicate a number in the thousands, but you don't have to. For example, you can use 10,000 or 10,000 comma, both acceptable. Then we have a mathematical rounding should be applied where appropriate. So you should use the mathematical rounding where appropriate. So obviously if the question said round it up or round it down, if the question said make it 2 decimals, so you can always have to do that. Scenario: the task in this assessment are set in a different business situation where the following apply. Businesses use a variety of bookkeeping systems, so double entry take place in general ledger and the VAT rate 20%. So this is all the story we have to know before we answer this question. So of course, like we understand the main difference with AQ12, AQ 2022 compared to AQ16, that's the trial balance is not anymore part of this paper. So rest of the content is look like same. So obviously, like if we practice this book, we'll be able to understand all the bookkeeping system, not the trial balance, because it is not part of this course anymore. So that's it for our bookkeeping introduction to bookkeeping. That will be starting from September 2022. So if the exam you are planning to do for your level 2, this will be your first paper to attempt the exam, and that is September 2022.